Which, if you're getting a picture taken and you know it's going to go into Daily Profit, you're going to hold your hat?
Also a big issue that Snape also discarded the the cloak. Like, why does Snape...
So, the famous Andrew couldn't bother to be on time for this episode of the podcast. Andrew, why don't you tell us what recently happened to make me say this?
I don't know. What did recently happen? Nothing really interesting happened. Oh, Monday.
Not
Okay, so
not to be confused with Sunday.
Not Sunday. So we got a lot of snow over the weekend. We got about 8 inches here, which is pretty fun. Especially since it's my 5-year-old's first like real snowstorm.
Nice.
We had a lot of fun. So they've been filming a movie here called something on Hallmark. Maybe the Grand Biltmore something. It's a Christmas movie. Anyway, so...
Oh, you're like part of this and you don't know what the movie's called?
No offense to Hallmark, I just don't watch Hallmark movies. My parents love Hallmark movies.
Well,
and a lot of people
they're going to listen to this episode and go, oh, we can redact him from this movie.
Yeah. No, a lot of people love Hallmark. And they're, they make... movie, and one of the things that I think is really brilliant about Hallmark is they'll make a movie and then they'll make a follow-up movie and then they'll make a follow-up movie, and so they've got a lot of fans. Anyway, so filming a Christmas movie at the Biltmore in Asheville. And so I got an email on Sunday night saying that they needed background extra people for movie theater scene and a bar scene. And so I emailed the casting director. I said, hey, do you still need people? I think it'd be fun to be on set again. And so email her, and on my resume it just says that I used to be in the union. I used to be SAG-AFTRA. So email that to her. She goes, yes, we'd love to have you there, and there's a possibility that I might get some extra screen time. Maybe she didn't say this in the email, but I was talking to the crew when I got there on Monday that there might be a speaking part. Anyway, so it was all a bunch of maybes. So I just went in. I'm like, yeah, sweet. I'm just going to go. I'm going to be a background just to watch the making of movies. I love everything.
Yeah. If anything, you get to be there in that environment.
Oh, it's so much fun just to see everything that goes into it. So I get there, we do the first scene, meet some cool people, and then the scene, kind of the last scene that they were filming in the bar, they came up to me. They're like, okay, cool. So 2 people come up to me. They're like, okay, cool. You're going to be one of the main girls has to flirt with a guy at this restaurant. That's going to be you. I said, okay, cool.
Oh, nice.
I said, sweet. That'll be fun. Any lines or anything like that? They're like, no. Cool. No problem. And so I'm, talking with people, everything. Well, then it comes time to shoot that scene, and the assistant director comes. Now, this was the last night that they were filming the movie.
Oh, okay.
And this was the first night that I was there. Now, there were other extras, background folks that had been there for multiple days in multiple different scenes. And so the assistant director and the crew, they kind of get to know people. Anyway, so the assistant director, before we shoot that scene, he walks over to this one guy and he goes, hey, I want you to do this. I want you to be this guy that the girl flirts with in this scene. And the guy's like super excited. He's like, yeah, sweet. Yeah, let's do it. I'm so excited. And he's like, yeah, you're going to get extra screen time because you're going to be right by this girl and, in the couple scenes. And so I'm just sitting there watching it. And the guy was just super excited, which I love. Yeah. Cool. So he goes down. And so he does it. And so anyway, I was there maybe 10 and a half, 11 hours. And it was just fun. It was just fun.
You didn't get that part? You gave it
No,
to
I was not the guy. I was not the guy. I'm still in the scene, but I'm like walking back and forth, just nothing. You wouldn't really recognize me.
I might.
So, yeah.
Usually I only see you from the chest up, so maybe there's a chance I don't. Yeah.
Maybe you'll know me. Now, there is one scene that you will see me in the movie theater scene. The main girl and the guy are sitting there, and then there's an empty seat, and then I'm sitting right next to him, and they filmed from this direction. Nice. So you'll see, because even the director was like, hey, I want you to just kind of slowly eat popcorn, while you're eating here. Nice. And so what's funny is because there's a boom mic over me and I'm close to the main guy, the first time I did that, I put it in my mouth, and I was like, I don't want to chew this. I don't want this to be loud. I don't want them to get my chewing. So I put it in my mouth and just kept it in the middle, and I just pretended like I was chewing it, and then, I kind of kept doing it. So by the end of the scene, I had 6 or 7 pieces of popcorn in my mouth. So they're like, cut. I'm like, okay. All right, let's roll it again. I'm like, but you know what? It was fun. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I've applied to be like a background or extra in a movie, and I didn't get picked, but I think it had something to do with work, because work flat out said none of the village workers can be in this. So, yeah, they didn't want to give us the time to do it, and it's like
punks, absolute
until auditions
punks.
And everything. Yeah, but
it's fun.
It's all good. Welcome back, witches, wizards, and muggles, to Squib's Corner. I am Jeremiah.
And I'm Andrew, and tonight we're jumping into Chapter 19, The Servant of Lord Voldemort, of Book 3, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. But before we move forward, and before we recap Chapter 18, Moony, Wormtail, Padfoot, and Prongs, we want to give a huge thank you, a huge shout out to everybody that watches and or listens. You can obviously find our podcast everywhere that they offer podcasts, Spotify, Apple, etc. And on our YouTube channel, Squib's Corner. You can also see stuff on TikTok and Instagram. Those are all Squib's Corner as well. But truly, thank you so much. We love that you're a part of the program. We love that you're following along. Jeremiah and I, we have a great time doing this. Obviously, we've got a huge passion for Harry Potter, and we know you do too if you're here. So if you know somebody that also has a huge love for Harry Potter and the wizarding world that is Harry Potter, let them know we're there. Like, comment, subscribe, and maybe we'll even get you on one of the episodes someday soon.
Yes, we'd love that. Yes.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. Yeah. Okay, so we're in Chapter 19, which is a great chapter.
Yes, it is.
An amazing chapter. The Servant of Lord Voldemort. Okay, so where are we? We're in the Shrieking Shack. We're in the Shrieking Shack, and we're there with Sirius Black. We're there with Professor Lupin, Harry, Ron, Hermione. Ron has a broken leg. Crookshanks is there. Ron has Scabbers. And when they get in there, we realize that Sirius Black is there, and Sirius and Lupin, instead of Lupin trying to help the Golden Trio and attack Black, he hugs his old friend, and they're like, oh my gosh. So we find out that Remus Lupin is a werewolf. We find out that they believe that Ron's rat Scabbers is in fact a wizard named Peter Pettigrew, who was supposedly murdered by Sirius Black 12, almost 13 years ago. Yeah. At the very end of all this, Severus Snape busts in so that he can be the hero. And that brings us to the beginning of Chapter 19.
How do you feel about it taking 3 chapters to finally reveal Peter?
I think, here's what I think.
I didn't like that. Pettigrew. I didn't like calling him Peter. That felt weird.
That is his name, though.
It is.
That is on his birth certificate.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever called him just Peter. It's either Peter Pettigrew or Pettigrew.
Have you ever written a story, a script, book, anything like that?
Yeah, for fun. Yeah.
So so I've written scripts, and I've written chapters in books that I want to write, or stories, events that I want to put in a book that I'm writing. And here's what I think JK did, because these chapters are awesome. There's so much in the chapters. And so and especially for a book that's being published, you have multiple people that read it. Yeah, right? Yeah, it's not just her, and then we're going to publish it. Yeah. You've got the editor or editors going in for grammatical stuff, and then they read, and then they say, well, JK, how did he escape from Azkaban?
Yeah.
And it's like, and JK could go back and be like, oh, okay, you know what I didn't answer here? No one's ever broken out of Azkaban before. Do I need to do? So my assumption is that she's written, you write, you go through, and then you go back and you're like, you know what? I'm actually going to make him say this. Okay, let's go back to this. Let me fill in the gaps here. And then you're like, what was one chapter? Well, I can't have this be a 67-page chapter. That's my assumption. That's my assumption.
Like you said before, I mean, you put it out, and then there's revisions. And revisions on revisions.
Revisions on revisions on revisions.
Yeah. I mean, it could have all been one chapter, but I like how they think, oh, this could be a cliffhanger. Bam, there we go.
Yep, which they do.
Yeah, they do.
Right?
Yeah.
Snape, chapter 18 ends with Snape. Like the last few sentences, Snape takes off the invisibility cloak.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. So it's like, okay, cool, cliffhanger. Then we jump into this one. And that chapter was so short. And then you come into this chapter that's twice as long as that chapter. So it's, but I love them. I love it all. And I have to clarify, I've got to make 2 clarifications if you listen to the last episode. This has been weighing on my mind.
Hey guys, listen. He was wrong. He was wrong about something.
I misspoke. Misspoke. Okay, so one of the things I asked Jeremiah who gave Sirius Black the newspaper, and I said it was Barty Crouch. It was not Barty Crouch. It was Fudge. I was thinking of, in the next book, we meet Barty Crouch, and Barty Crouch, we do learn that he does go to the prison. And I believe Sirius remembers seeing Barty Crouch go to the prison. So
got your scenes mixed up.
Got my scenes mixed up. It was Fudge, and we go over that in this chapter. And then I also mentioned in the theory of why no one ever saw Peter Pettigrew on the map, including Ron, including Harry, including Fred and George Weasley, is that the makers, right, they would have made it in there that, if you don't know,
they would have made sure to put a loophole.
They would have made sure that they were concealed on there. And so I said that even Snape, when he looked at the map, he saw Lupin, but he didn't see Peter Pettigrew. Snape only saw Lupin because he got into his office, which we go into a little bit later, and he only saw Lupin on the map running, to the tunnel. So even in that theory, Snape wouldn't have had an option of seeing Peter because he was already in the Shrieking Shack.
Well, I mean, you weren't necessarily wrong. It just didn't.
Wasn't wrong, but I did say that, he looked on the map and didn't see it, or looked on the map and did see Peter, because he maybe knew the manufacturer. Okay. Anyway, so Fudge, we'll go over that, and then we go over, Snape. So I just had to get that off my chest. I don't want to lead anyone astray.
I mean, we might. It's okay. I mean, it's all up to you listeners, whether you believe anything we say or not.
It's, go ahead. We're going to start another YouTube channel. We're going to start another podcast. This one has clearly lost all integrity. You can't trust anything. Yeah. So let's jump into those 7-word summaries.
What you got, Andrew?
I don't know if I have as many. I don't know if I have the correct amount of words. Don't talk about James in front of Sirius. I think that's 8.
That's 8. Try again.
Don't mention James in front of Sirius.
There you go.
Just made that one up on the spot. You obviously saw right through me. It's been a very busy day.
Yeah, I am not recycling any 7-word summary, so I went with this one.
Do it.
Harry is stupid, but he's no killer. It's not.
I get it.
It's not my best. It's not my best.
I don't. I don't like it. I don't like calling Harry stupid because
you know what? I'll be honest with you. I forgot about the 7-word summary and just kind of made that up.
Wow. So we are on one today.
Yes.
We are on one today. Okay, let's move past the 7-word summary and get into a very, very difficult 7 chapter notables. Number 1, the real Snape.
Is he going to stand
Number 2, please stand up. Number 2, enough is enough. 3, Scabber's front paw. Number 4, Peter Pettigrew. Number 5, the escape plan. Number 6, trust no one. And number 7, the death sentence.
How hard was this?
It was very hard. It was very hard.
Too many, not enough?
I could have done 10, 11 of them. It's a massive chapter.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot, Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah.
So first paragraph or two, I think they were both tiny, of chapter 19, the servant of Lord Voldemort. Hermione screamed. Obviously, Snape had just gotten into the building. Hermione screamed. Black leapt to his feet. Harry jumped as though he'd received a huge electric shock. I found this at the base of the Whomping Willow, said Snape, throwing the cloak aside, careful to keep his wand pointing directly at Lupin's chest. Very useful, Potter. I thank you.
Yeah, so
I have a question. How does Snape know that it's Harry's cloak? He doesn't know Harry has an invisibility cloak.
I would assume
that we know of.
I would assume he knew James had it. I would assume. So
okay, I could see that.
When he feels like someone's sneaking around, I think.
Yes.
He probably figured, he got a hold of James's cloak somehow. But that being said,
well, here's the thing.
Man,
he's in a room with Sirius Black, and why would you not assume? Oh, Sirius Black has been sneaking into the castle, and we've not been able to find him.
Yeah.
Why? Maybe it's Sirius Black's. There's no indication in books 1, 2, or 3 that Snape knows.
Yeah.
That it's.
Unless you knew, like Dumbledore told him, which...
that's my only thing. I know he and Dumbledore are close, and they share plans.
So it's either that or he knew James had one, because otherwise, why would you suspect somebody of having an invisibility cloak?
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean...
Thank you for addressing my question.
Well, which issue is bigger? I mean, it's been a big issue throughout the book. Is it a bigger issue that Snape got a hold of the cloak, or is it a bigger issue that the cloak was on the ground?
Big issue that the cloak was on the ground. Also big issue that Snape also discarded the cloak. Why does nobody love this cloak? I love this cloak.
What would you have done if he's like, the very useful, Potter, I thank you. Here's your cloak back.
I know, here's your cloak back. No, Snape's not doing that. He would have confiscated that immediately.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, would he have if he didn't get knocked out? Would he have confiscated it, or would he have left it there and walked off?
Oh, yeah. No. He would have confiscated it. Yeah. I mean, because we learn later how rare an amazing invisibility cloak is.
Wow. Especially a good one like he has.
Now we also know that Dumbledore doesn't need a cloak to become invisible. and maybe he taught Snape how to do that, but then Snape wouldn't have needed to put the invisibility cloak on. So many.
Well,
things.
anyways, Snape interrupts Sirius, and Lupin is trying to explain how Sirius is innocent and how Peter Pettigrew has been hiding for 12 years for being the traitor that told Voldemort where James and Lily were hiding. Snape explains that he'd gone to Lupin's office to take him his potion, When he saw the map lying open on his desk, he saw Lupin running through the passageway. He decided to go see what he was up to.
Lupin.
Just like
Lupin.
before.
Lupin.
Just like before.
You are a marauder. Why would you leave the map open?
You know, I could probably...
He had a lot on his mind.
Yeah, I think he had a feeling what was happening.
He saw Sirius, saw Peter.
But I mean, the creator of the map, that you really have no excuse to mischief managed. No excuse.
Mischief managed. Come on.
Yeah, that's...
Come on,
Lupin. That's your bad. That's your bad, man.
It's okay. He was shocked. Lupin was so shocked at seeing Peter Pettigrew.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
That he immediately left. I get it.
Yeah. I mean, if you remembered halfway there, would you have turned back around?
No.
Exactly. So yeah.
No.
So Lupin tries to tell Snape that Sirius is innocent, but chapter notable number 1, Snape seems to be in a craze. He's not willing to listen to Lupin or anyone at all. And I did listen to this chapter on the dramatized version of the audio. Great scene. Whoever's playing Snape in that did it good.
Well, and I'll say this. Obviously, I've not listened to the dramatized, but when people, so there's the debate, and we'll see more of this as we continue discussing the beginning of this chapter. When there's the debate of, was Snape a good person or was Snape a bad person, I will always reference this scene.
Yeah.
I always reference this scene. Now, this scene paints Snape poorly. Many scenes paint him poorly, but you can kind of just like, oh well, why is Snape so mean to Harry Potter? Well, because there's children of Death Eaters in the class. Yeah. And they can't have the kids of the Death Eaters going back to their Death Eater parents be like, Snape actually really likes Harry. No, you could be like, he's got to put on a front.
Yeah.
Right? So there's all of these ways Snape is a spy. Yeah. Right? Snape is Dumbledore's guy. Snape is Voldemort's guy. He's got to act both sides. You can always kind of rationalize Snape in public.
The thing with this chapter, why I kept wanting to use that chapter, or the 7-word summary is so bad. Snape is always very, very sure of himself, like he is here.
Very, yeah.
But this is the only time that I could remember throughout the series that he's just completely wrong.
He not only is he completely wrong, but he doesn't care to find out if he's wrong.
Yeah, and I can't. Is that out of character for him? Because it just seems. I mean, confident Snape, he was wrong. I mean, it makes sense, but at the same time, it's like, really, you didn't know any of this.
Really this almost does feel like an isolated. And you could say, because I had the thought as I was thinking this through, maybe Snape learned from this. Right? Maybe Snape, because obviously he thought that he could trust Voldemort.
Yeah, but do you think Snape ever fully believed all of this? Because he seemed to be going along with it begrudgingly.
Well, going on with it begrudgingly, but he's already got the schoolboy grudge. I mean, they're in the order together. They have conversations. They just don't like each other. And I think there has to come a time where Snape is like, obviously Snape sees Peter Pettigrew later.
Yeah, that's true.
And all of this is really weird because...
I mean, it probably wouldn't be up until he saw Peter, though. I mean, for anybody for that instance, really.
Well, when you read the whole series, this whole scene makes no sense anyway. Like, Snape was a Death Eater.
Yeah.
Right? So when everyone's like, "Oh, he's Voldemort's number 2," Snape would have been like, "No."
Yeah.
Never. No.
Yeah.
No, that's not how it worked.
Yeah.
He was never there. He never did anything. No, the Dark Lord didn't. What are you talking about? No, none of that ever happened. So anyway, people can say, like, oh, well, if he was using, Sirius as a double agent, maybe he wouldn't have told anybody about it, because even Voldemort himself doesn't truly trust everyone, even his Death Eaters. He doesn't have true friends, so would he have told anybody?
Yeah.
But anyway, lots of layers to think about. But this shows Snape as a bad person.
I mean, his whole front is a bad person, so
yeah.
So anyways, Lupin says, you fool, is a schoolboy grudge worth putting an innocent man back inside Azkaban? But Snape, he didn't care. He just wanted to take Sirius to the Dementors. He says, 2 more for Azkaban tonight. His eye is now gleaming fanatically. I shall be interested to see how Dumbledore takes this. He was quite convinced you were harmless, Lupin, a tame werewolf. Then Snape conjured snake-like cords that suddenly wrapped around Lupin's mouth, wrist, and ankles.
Yeah, and Sirius didn't like this. He didn't like that at all. And his, obviously, knee-jerk reaction is to attack, go towards, and confront Snape. Yeah. But Snape's the one with the wand, right? And Sirius is unarmed at this point, and he threatens Sirius. He's like, give me a reason. I beg you, give me a reason. So obviously Sirius stops. Both men, it says their faces showing how much they hate each other. And then Hermione, obviously the voice of logic there, she tries to reason with Snape. But again, he doesn't want to hear anything. He's convinced that he knows everything. And then he begins to lose his cool. And I think this part really shows us a lot about Snape. So Hermione's, trying to say, hey, it would make sense if we listen to what they have to say. And he's like, keep quiet, you stupid girl. Snape shouted, looking suddenly quite deranged. Don't talk about what you don't understand. A few sparks shot out of the end of his wand, which was still pointed at Black's face. Hermione fell silent. Vengeance is very sweet, Snape breathed at Black. How I hoped I would be the one to catch you. Then Sirius tells Snape that as long as Ron takes Scabbers up to the castle with him, he'll come quietly. And then Snape, again showing his true colors again. Up to the castle? I don't think we need to go that far. All I have to do is call the Dementors once we get out of the Willow. They'll be very pleased to see you, Black. Pleased enough to give you a little kiss, I dare say.
It really paints Snape with, tunnel vision. Just refuses to hear anything. And then you also get, keep quiet, you stupid girl. He kind of tells her you should be, suspended from the school. But then
he's like, you were so far out of bounds.
Yeah, he kind of flips it around, almost he's saying without saying, hey, I'm saving you. You should be grateful for me.
He says that he's about to say that to Harry, right?
Yeah,
you should be down on bended knee, thanking me, and then Sirius. Then Snape mentions James in front of him. But Snape is just so, the hatred is boiling out of him to the fact that, because Snape is a very powerful wizard, so for his emotions to become so erratic that sparks are shooting out of his wand, he's out of his mind.
Yeah.
He's out of his mind.
So Black didn't like the sound of any of that. He tried to plead. We then read, but there was a mad glint in Snape's eyes that Harry had never seen before. He seemed beyond reason. Like we said, kind of like tunnel vision, one-track mind. You're not going to talk him out of this. He's made his decision. Snape then ordered everyone to come with him to deliver Sirius and Lupin to the Dementors. Talk about you're just going crazy at this point.
Yeah. It's the whole thing. Where is the judicial system?
I feel like Snape's gonna do what Snape wants. I mean, yeah. But Harry wasn't gonna let this happen. He crossed the room.
He was not.
No, he crossed the room, stood in the way. Snape demanded him to move, but Harry, he still wasn't having it. He wanted to know the truth. And he wasn't going to let Snape be the reason he never learns the truth about his parents. Traitor. And then a very important exchange happened with Snape and Harry.
Professor Lupin could have killed me about 100 times this year. I've been alone with him loads of times, having defense lessons against the Dementors. If he was helping Black, why didn't he just finish me off then?
Don't ask me to fathom the way a werewolf's mind works. Get out of the way, Potter!
You're pathetic. Just because they made a fool of you at school, you won't even listen.
Silence! I will not be spoken to like that, like father, like son, Potter. I have just saved your neck. You should be thanking me on bended knee, which I really like that term, on bended knee. Like, that's a good phrase to put in there.
Yeah.
You would have been well served if he killed you. You'd have died like your father, too arrogant to believe you might be mistaken in Black. Now get out of the way, or I will make you. Get out of the way, Potter! And too arrogant to believe you might be mistaken in Black. He's eating his own words right now.
How ironic.
Yeah.
How ironic.
Yeah, I didn't notice that until I read it.
Yeah.
I read it right now.
How ironic. So Snape, remember earlier in the book, told him he was like his father, and Harry told him to shut up.
Like that. Yeah,
right? Harry didn't like it.
Yeah.
So now he says you would have died just like your father, too arrogant. And then chapter notable number 2. Enough is enough. Harry, along with Hermione and Ron, raised their wands and all attempted to disarm Snape at the same time. The outcome was a blast that made the door rattle on its hinges. Snape was lifted off his feet and slammed into the wall, then slid down it to the floor, a trickle of blood oozing from under his hair. He had been knocked out.
Hello, Hermione. We just attacked a teacher.
Yeah.
I mean,
so Black...
I would have. First thing out of my mouth would probably been that too. So
Well, you know what's interesting? So 3 years in a row, you have dangerous situations that aren't immediately life-threatening. So they're following school rules to the best of their ability.
Yeah.
Right? And then it crosses this threshold, like Harry in the first book. He's like, look, if Voldemort is out there and Snape gets the stone, it doesn't matter if I'm expelled or not.
Yeah.
Because he's going to try to kill me. Now we've got to step out of the bounds. So now you go to book 2. Ginny is in the Chamber of Secrets and is going to die. Okay. We now have to step out of the bounds. Who cares if we're expelled if we save Ginny's life?
Yeah, true.
Now you've got, we've got a deranged Snape who's going to possibly kill my dad's 2 best friends, and one of them, who we thought was the traitor, is saying he wasn't the traitor, and he can prove it. Right? So now we are now going to act outside of that, and we've got to figure this out.
This is the point where monologue makes sense. Like, you need to hear it, because if you don't, well, then you got nothing.
Yeah. So they've knocked Snape out. Sirius bends down. He frees Lupin from his bonds. Lupin thanks Harry, but Harry still wasn't sure if he believed their story yet. He wants to know the truth. They've given him enough information that he's intrigued. He's like, okay, I've got to know. If it were to end right now and I didn't hear anything else, it would bother me for the rest of my life. I'm not saying I know. I'm not saying I believe yet, but I want to know. So then the story gets interesting. Lupin wanted Ron to hand over Scabbers, and Ron asks a fair question here. Book Ron is smarter than movie Ron. Everybody remember that.
Yeah.
Okay, say Pettigrew could turn into a rat. There are millions of rats. How's he supposed to know which one he's after if he was locked up in Azkaban? Lupin, I love Lupin. Because he's cool.
Like, every time you hear him talk, even in this situation, you still get to a point where you go, Lupin,
Lupin, level head.
Yeah.
So he turns to Sirius for the answer. Yeah. How did you know? So Black puts a hand in his pocket, and he pulls out a crumpled piece of newspaper. On the newspaper, there was the picture of the Weasleys on vacation in Egypt. There on Ron's shoulder was Scabbers. When asked how he'd got that, Sirius responded, "Fudge. When he came to inspect Azkaban last year, he gave me his paper. And there was Peter on the front page, on this boy's shoulder. I knew him at once. How many times had I seen him transform? And the captain said the boy would be going back to Hogwarts, to where Harry was."
Yeah, I mean...
I love how many things had to happen for Sirius to be at Hogwarts. So, why were the Weasleys in Egypt? Do you remember?
Mr. Weasley had won some contest.
Won a lottery thing at work, at the ministry. So how many people work at the ministry? Anybody could have won that. Yeah. But Arthur won it. Arthur wins this money. They go to Egypt. And they take a picture while they're at Egypt. And in that picture, Ron is holding his pet rat. And that's put in the paper. And then Fudge is reading that paper. And Fudge takes it with him.
Which, if you're getting a picture taken and you know it's going to go in the Daily Prophet, you're going to hold your rat? Are you Andrew, going to hold your rat in the picture that's going to be in the newspaper?
The answer is I don't take pets on vacation.
Well, the answer is yeah.
The answer is probably not. Right. I don't think I would be hauling Scabbers around our Egypt vacation. No. Anyway, Fudge has a copy of that paper. He takes it with him to Azkaban while he's inspecting it, and he goes by Sirius's cell, and Sirius says, "Hey, can I read that?" And Fudge is like, "Yeah, sure, yeah, no problem." And he sees Scabbers.
Yep.
A lot of things happen. But it wasn't just the picture of the rat that caught his eye.
Yeah. So Lupin realized at once. He looked at chapter notable number 3, Scabber's front paw. Scabbers was missing one of his toes. When Sirius had cornered Pettigrew, he yelled for everyone, which, like everything about his animagus, she wrote to it perfectly.
Vermin.
Yes.
Vermin.
So he yelled for everybody to hear that Sirius had betrayed Lily and James, that he blew the whole street apart and vanished into the sewer with all the other rats. Lupin reminded them that the only piece of Pettigrew that was ever found was his finger. Ron reminded them that Scabbers had been in his family for ages, so he's still trying to defend Scabbers.
Sure.
To which Lupin asked, "Why did you think Scabbers had lived longer than any other rat?" Lupin points out that Scabbers wasn't looking so good, and Ron chalked it up to him being afraid of Crookshanks. But Harry realized, well, that's not right. Scabbers, he wasn't looking too good when Harry first saw him as the summer was winding down, before Crookshanks was ever in the picture.
Yeah. They meet Crookshanks because they go get medicine for Scabbers.
Yep. Welcome, witches, wizards, and muggles to Squib's Corner. I'm Jeremiah.
And I'm Andrew. I got a question for you Harry Potter lovers out there. Are you feeling a bit stuck in the Muggle world?
If so, then it's time for a magical escape.
At Squib's Corner, we break down the Harry Potter books chapter by chapter, share fresh perspectives, theories, and have full episodes dedicated to topics within the chapters. And the new HBO Harry Potter series, we'll be reviewing every episode.
So,
if the Muggles get you down...
Hey, I was going to say that, man. Come join us and escape into the wizarding world that we all know and love as Harry Potter.
Find Squib's Corner on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or wherever you get your podcast.
As for Crookshanks, Sirius lauded his intelligence, saying he was the one that knew what Scabbers was immediately. And he was the same when he met Sirius in Animaga's form. He knew he wasn't a dog immediately, but once he gained Crookshanks' trust, he was helping Black get into the castle.
Which is like a, what? And even the Golden Tree are like, what? And then we learn, so Crookshanks tried to get Scabbers and bring him to Sirius. Didn't work. So then Crookshanks...
They had said Crookshanks had came back and told Sirius that there was blood all over the sheet. So Sirius is like, he tried to.
Well, that was later.
Again.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's later.
Yeah. No. Yeah. That's so he says that at first he tried to get Peter and bring him to him.
Yeah.
Then he says that Crookshanks is the one that stole the list of passwords from the Gryffindor common room. Poor Neville. He didn't drop them. They were stolen. Crookshanks then tried again to get Peter. And obviously Peter knew what was going on at that time, so he faked his death.
Yeah.
Right? He faked his death because it had worked for him 12 years ago.
Yep.
Now he's going to do it again. So then Lupin explains kind of what everybody in the wizarding world assumes. This whole time everyone thought that Sirius was the one that had betrayed Lily and James, that he was their secret keeper. And if we've not explained the secret keeper to the listeners, viewers, if you haven't read it, the Fidelius charm, if you give somebody, we only see it in the books used for locations. I assume it could be for any secret, but we only see it in the books for locations. So when you can do the Fidelius charm on a location, and if you are not the people that did the charm or their secret keeper, no one else can see it. No one else can find it.
Yeah.
Okay. So we know that Voldemort was looking for Lily and James, and everyone thought that Sirius was the secret keeper, and he told Voldemort where they were, and that's how Voldemort found Lily and James. Lupin explains, but we had that wrong. And even Lupin thought this whole time. Yeah. Even Lupin thought that Sirius was a secret keeper. So Harry agreed. He's like, yeah, that's what I thought. And you said you killed my parents. He goes, and Black says, Harry, I as good as killed them. I persuaded Lily and James to change to Peter at the last moment. Persuaded them to use him as secret keeper instead of me. I'm to blame, I know it. The night they died, I'd arranged to check on Peter. Make sure he was still safe, but when I arrived at his hiding place, he'd gone. Yet there was no sign of struggle. It didn't feel right. I was scared. I set out for your parents' house straight away, and when I saw their house destroyed and their bodies, I realized what Peter must have done. What I'd done. And at this point, Lupin was tired of talking. Just being reminded of that, he's like, okay, give me Scabbers. I need him right now. We're going to prove this thing. We're going to prove this thing right now.
And we finally get to the point. The whole build up to...
Yes.
Then Scabbers began to squeal and squirm with all of his might. Lupin took him. Black retrieved Snape's wand. Lupin held out his own.
Together?
He said quietly. I think so, said Lupin, holding Scabbers tightly in one hand and his wand in the other. On a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. A flash of blue-white light erupted from both of the wands. For a moment, Scabbers was frozen in midair, his small gray form twisting madly. Ron yelled. The rat fell and hit the floor. There was another blinding flash of light. It was like watching a sped-up film of a growing tree. A head was shooting upward from the ground. Limbs were sprouting. A moment later, a man was standing where Scabbers had been, cringing and wringing his hands. He was a very short man. His thin, colorless hair was unkempt, and there was a large bald patch on top. He had the shrunken appearance of a plump man who had lost a lot of weight in a short time. His skin looked grubby, almost like Scabbers' fur, and something of the rat lingered around his pointed nose and his very small, watery eyes. Chapter Notable number 4. Well, hello, Peter, said Lupin pleasantly, as though rats frequently erupted into old school friends around him. Long time no see. And my question here is, I looked it up while we were talking earlier. You don't need a wand to transform in and out of your animagus.
You do not.
So for 12 years, are we assuming he never transformed?
are we assuming who never transformed?
Peter. No, Pettigrew. Pettigrew.
I'm not assuming that. I could see him as.
It's never talked about though. So
like, I don't know. I think that he would be so afraid he wouldn't risk it.
Yeah.
Especially being around Molly and Arthur would know who he was.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Right? Molly and Arthur would know who he was from the Order. And so if he did, no one was there.
Yeah.
And he did it maybe just to stretch his legs. I don't know. But I think after a time, you just...
Could you imagine like him just walking around the burrow with like sitting on a couch, stretching his legs out? Ugh.
Oh my gosh.
I don't want to say gross, but gross.
Gross. So now Peter's there, right? Peter Pettigrew is right in front of us. And immediately he starts denying everything to Remus.
Of course.
Right? Lupin, calmly, because Lupin is such a great character, wants answers from Peter. Then here's where I love she adds layers to the story. I love layers to the story. It gets a little more interesting here. Peter tells Lupin that he's been waiting 12 years. I've been waiting 12 years for Sirius to come get him. And Lupin responds by asking why he thought Sirius would break out of prison, break out of Azkaban, when no one has ever done so before. Why would you be waiting for this?
Man.
Yeah, why would you... Yeah, to attack an innocent man, why would you be waiting for this? Peter responds by saying that Sirius has dark powers that he learned straight from Voldemort himself, which irritated Black immediately.
Well, he actually laughed a little bit, I think. Like, oh, the Dark Lord teach me
an indignant laugh. Like, yeah.
Well,
and this is pretty cool.
He kind of talks about, like, he never learned anything. Did he? He said something like he never learned anything from wizards that were more powerful than him. So it's a little bit of context or a little bit of...
Black says that?
Yeah, he says something like that. So it's a little bit of her throwing in that he was a powerful wizard.
Well, and we learn from the conversations of the professors that Black and Sirius and James were the best of their year. Like they were
throughout the series. You never see him do anything extraordinary or anything like that. So I mean, you don't look at him as a strong wizard.
At Sirius?
Yeah.
We don't. Oh, well, no, I completely agree. Well, number one, we only get him for a few books.
Yeah.
And most of that, and he's in hiding, right? So there's not really much that we can do or that we can see. So, but
he's got a strong bloodline, though. So
a very strong bloodline. Yeah. There's a lot of
layers.
There are a lot of powerful wizards. Snape's a very powerful wizard. McGonagall's a very powerful wizard. Even Dumbledore, we only truly see his power once.
Well, he uses it modestly. He could do it.
Like, we see him do magic, but, like, to be, like, we see his intelligence on display frequently.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, his power as a wizard, we don't really get to see that much.
Well, he does everything so subtle as well. It's like he could do something crazy, and he just... And so nonchalantly, you don't even notice. He just did something amazing. So, yeah. She writes to everybody really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so Peter's saying, he escaped Azkaban because he's so powerful from learning from Voldemort, which Sirius is like, shut up, that's stupid. But then Sirius starts talking about stuff he experienced in Azkaban. So while in Azkaban, Black overheard many of the Death Eaters and followers of Voldemort complain about what had happened to their master. And it turns out many of them blame Pettigrew for his downfall. All they knew was that Peter Pettigrew had given Voldemort information, and later that evening, Voldemort was defeated. So Sirius tells the room that Peter's not afraid of Sirius, not afraid of me. He's afraid of the Death Eaters and the followers of Voldemort who aren't in Azkaban. Because if they got their hands on him, that would be unpleasant. But Peter denies everything. He denies everything Black says, and he tries appealing to Lupin, who is finding it very hard, like you said, to imagine why an innocent person would want to hide as a rat for 12 years.
Yeah, it's... yeah. Everything... These 3 chapters are just... They're written so well. Everything
it's a great
makes
story.
Sense. Yeah.
These 3 chapters are a great story.
Yeah. So Peter responds by saying the only reason that Voldemort's supporters would be angry with him is because he put Voldemort's number 2 in prison. The spy, Sirius Black! Sirius was livid. I? Spy for Voldemort? When did I ever sneak around people who were stronger and more powerful than myself? See? Right there. But you, Peter, I'll never understand why I didn't see you were the spy from the start. You always liked big friends who'd look after you, didn't you? It used to be us. Me and Remus. And James. Peter vehemently... Vehemently? Vehemently.
Yep.
Peter vehemently refused to be a spy, and Sirius...
I'm gonna now throw new words in every script that I do.
That one I knew. It's
vehemently is pretty common. Yeah.
So some words there is words I've never heard of, and then there's words I've heard of but I haven't seen written. Like,
yeah.
That's how you spell it. So Peter vehemently refused to being a spy, and Sirius urged that the only reason Peter was made a secret keeper was because he thought it would be the perfect plan. Voldemort would never imagine that they would choose Peter to be the secret keeper, which... Burn!
A sick burn.
Right? Then our lovely Hermione chimes in and tells Lupin that Scabbers has been sleeping in Harry's dormitory for 3 years. If he's working for you-know-who, how come he never tried to hurt Harry before now? To which Sirius promptly responded,
Great question. Yeah, great question.
Yeah, Sirius says, because you never did anything for anyone unless you could see what was in it for you. Voldemort's been in hiding for 12 years. They say he's half dead. You weren't about to commit murder right under Albus Dumbledore's nose. For a wreck of a wizard who lost all of his power, were you? You'd want to be quite sure he was the biggest bully in the playground before you went back to him, wouldn't you? And why else did you find a wizard family to take you in? Keeping an ear out for news, weren't you, Peter? Just in case your old protector regained strength? And it was safe to rejoin him.
Pettigrew tries to respond to this, but he doesn't have any words. Like he has no response to it.
Yeah, he's like, well, yeah.
Which is never a good sign. But Hermione then raises another important question. She asks Black how exactly he managed to escape Azkaban, especially if he didn't use dark magic. Which, again, great question.
Yes.
Great question. And he furrows his brow. He's looking at her. He's not upset with her, but he's like, okay, how do I answer this? I've obviously not had to tell this before.
Yeah.
I don't know how I did it. I think the only reason I never lost my mind is that I knew I was innocent. That wasn't a happy thought, so the Dementors couldn't suck it out of me. But it kept me sane, and knowing who I am helped me keep my powers. So when it all became too much, I could transform in my cell, become a dog. Dementors can't see, you know. They feel their way toward people by sensing their emotions. They could tell that my feelings were less human, less complex when I was a dog, but they thought, of course, that I was losing my mind, like everyone else in there, so it didn't trouble them. But I was weak, very weak, and I had no hope of driving them away from me without a wand. But then I saw Peter in that picture. I realized he was at Hogwarts with Harry, perfectly positioned to act if one hint reached his ears that the dark side was gathering strength again. ready to strike at the moment he could, be sure of his allies, and to deliver the last Potter to them. If he gave them Harry, who'd dare say he'd betrayed Lord Voldemort? He'd be welcomed back with honors. So, you see, I had to do something. I was the only one who knew Peter was still alive. It was as if someone had lit a fire in my head, and the Dementors couldn't destroy it. It wasn't a happy feeling. It was an obsession. But it gave me strength. It cleared my mind. So chapter notable number 5, this is how he does it. So, one night when they opened my door to bring food, I slipped past them as a dog. It's so much harder for them to sense animal emotions that they were confused. I was thin, very thin. Thin enough to slip through the bars. I swam as a dog back to the mainland. I journeyed north and slipped into the Hogwarts grounds as a dog. I've been living in the forest ever since.
I could just...
So good. It's so good.
How believable everything is pretty mind-boggling. I mean...
And you're like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean... you just go right along with it.
Yeah.
So, Sirius begged Harry to believe him, saying that he would rather have died than betrayed Lily and James. Harry did believe him. He couldn't speak, so he just nodded at Sirius, which Peter interpreted as his death blow. He fell onto the floor, begging anyone who would listen, anyone who would show him mercy. He crawled towards Sirius, but he kicked out, making Peter recoil away from him. Then he begged Remus, asking, "Remus, you don't believe this? Wouldn't Sirius have told you they'd changed the plan?" To which Lupin replied, chapter notable number 6, "Not if he thought I was the spy, Peter. I assume that's why you didn't tell me, Sirius?"
Forgive me, Remus.
"Not at all, Patfoot, old friend. And you, in turn, forgive me for believing you were the spy?"
Of course.
Chapter notable number 7, then Lupin and Sirius decided to kill Peter together. Like, what in the world were they thinking? Don't they need him to prove Sirius's innocence?
Yeah, it's like, why? Guys.
You just explained everything, but without Pettigrew, there's nothing.
This means nothing. Now, what do? Do you show up with Pettigrew's body and be like, "Here's Pettigrew"? What? Like,
Well, I mean, he would be but still, there's no story. There's no story.
Yeah.
There's a dead Pettigrew. Yeah, we already knew Pettigrew was dead. You went and dug him up?
Yeah, like...
What a cock and bull story. But Peter began begging for his life. His life, not his lice. First going to Ron, who wanted nothing to do with him. Ron was just like, what?
The betrayal.
I've been sleeping with a mid-aged man.
You sleep in my bed.
Years.
Yeah.
Oh, man. He then went to Hermione, who backed away looking horrified. Then he begged Harry. Harry, you look just like your father. Just like him.
That's the bold move.
Bold move, Cotton. Let's see how it pays off.
Let's see how you betrayed his father.
Yeah, you're the reason.
You're the reason his father is dead. And now you want to be like, you look just like your father. Don't
You don't do that.
Snape, don't talk about James. Peter, don't talk about James.
Keep my dad's name out your mouth.
Sirius lashes out at Peter, yells at him for talking about James to Harry. But Peter wasn't done begging for his life. Harry, James wouldn't have wanted me killed. James would have understood Harry. He would have shown me mercy. Sirius and Lupin have heard too much, right? They grab him by his shoulders, they bring him back and throw him on the floor away from Harry. And then, here's the confession. Right? He's denied everything. Here's the confession. Pettigrew bursts into tears. It was horrible to watch. He looked like an oversized, balding baby cowering on the floor.
Sirius, what could I have done? The Dark Lord You have no idea. He has weapons you cannot imagine. I was scared, Sirius. I was never brave like you, Remus and James. Just love the squeaky voice. I never meant it to happen. He who must not be named forced me.
Don't lie. You'd been passing information to him for a year before Lily and James died. You were his spy.
He was taking over everywhere. What was there to be gained by refusing him?
What was there to be gained by fighting the most evil wizard who has ever existed? Only innocent lives, Peter.
You don't understand. He would have killed me, Sirius.
Then you should have died. Died rather than betray your friends, as we would have done for you.
Oof.
Then Lupin and Black stand shoulder to shoulder, wands raised. Lupin said, "You should have realized if Voldemort didn't kill you, we would. Goodbye, Peter."
What a good line. Goodbye.
Oof. You should have realized.
Man, the writing is
It's
so
so good.
good.
Yeah, it's so good. Because you have two, you have this juxtaposition of Remus and Sirius. Sirius is here all emotion.
Yeah.
He's been dreaming about this for, well, number one, he's the only one that believed his innocence for the last 12, 13 years. For the last year, since the summer, right? Since the summer, we've already taken end of year exams, so 9 months at least. He's been thinking about is, I'm going to get to Peter. He's at Hogwarts. I'm going to get to Peter.
Yeah.
I'm going to get, and now he's all, and then you have Remus, who's like, this is the next step that we must take. You have Remus right here is very eye for an eye. He's like, yeah, sorry, you killed. It's your fault that James and Lily are dead. So goodbye, Peter.
It's so
like,
good. It's
like,
so
oh
good.
my gosh.
Yes. They could have, we keep saying this all could have been one chapter. They could have ended the chapter right there.
Oh yeah, that would have been a great cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Because this chapter does not end on a cliffhanger.
No.
That could have been the ending,
Yeah.
and then no, that would have been a good cliffhanger. Goodbye, Peter.
So before they could kill Peter, Harry ran forward, placing himself between Peter and Lupin and Black. "No, you can't kill him. You can't." What the hell kind of accent?
What accent was that? Was there some German, some Austrian in there? What do we got? No, you can't kill him. You can't do it.
And I don't do a very good Harry. Let's see. "No, you can't kill him. You can't. We'll take him up to the castle. We'll hand him over to the Dementors. He can go to Azkaban, but don't kill him." That was just me. That was just my voice.
Yeah, that's okay. I felt the sincerity in it, so I think I love it.
It's better than the first attempt. Lupin and Black were completely caught off guard.
Ron, no!
What's
he
it?
going to do? He's going to sacrifice himself!
No, Ron, you can't!
We have a good time. We have a good time.
We do.
We have a good time.
Lupin and Black were completely caught off guard. Black reminded Harry that this was the man who was responsible for his parents' deaths. He would also have seen Harry killed without any hesitation. But Harry knew he was making the right decision. Peter tried to thank Harry, but he brushed him off. "I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing it because I don't reckon my dad would have wanted his best friends to become killers just for you." Black and Lupin, they obviously didn't like this decision,
Yeah.
but I like that they both agree that it was Harry's decision.
Yes. That was a cool gesture.
Yeah.
That they, yeah.
You kind of expect Lupin to go along with it. Like, it's not so, but for both of them to go along with it, It's good.
Well, and I think I think Black is like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
If Harry believes me, Lupin believes me, and Ron and Hermione, they were there to hear it. He's got a case. He'll be freed. He'll be vindicated, and Peter will either get the Dementor's kiss, or he'll be sent to Azkaban.
Well, I think Harry must understand that if they kill Pettigrew, the secret dies with him.
And here's the thing, right? If you've only read up to this part in the book, you would be like, yes. Now, you and I know that you can retrieve memories from people. So Dumbledore could have easily taken the memories from Sirius and Lupin and Harry and Hermione and Ron, and they would have all seen Peter give the confession, give the account, all of that, so it's they don't necessarily need Pettigrew, but if you're just reading this for the first time, you're like, he's your ticket out of jail, bud.
Well, two points to talk about there. Fudge. Yeah, without Pettigrew, memories? No, Fudge would not.
What? So here's one of the loopholes in the wizarding world. You have truth serum, Veritas serum, which makes people tell the truth.
I still say Fudge would have been like, nope.
We learn about that.
What are you playing at Dumbledore?
Well, it'd be like, here's the memories. Like,
as we go, makes 100% sense that Fudge would be like, nope. Where's Peter?
Yeah.
Where is he?
Yeah.
Where is he? Just some convoluted dream you guys thought up of?
Yeah.
I don't see Peter. He's dead.
Yeah.
How convenient, right? So
yeah.
And then the other thing to point out,
I can see that.
How did Hermione not be the one to say, if you guys kill Peter, then, the truth dies with him?
Yeah.
Like, Hermione would have pointed. But I think it's showing how frazzled Hermione is at this point. Like, all three of them.
This is a lot.
Oh, yeah.
This is a lot.
But for Hermione to be, like, at a loss for words?
Yeah.
Not a loss for words, per se, but a loss for thoughts.
You got to realize this day started with final exams. And
before that was a terrible prediction from Trelawney that has gone unmentioned.
And then Buckbeak's execution to now Sirius Black is here, and he's innocent, and the real killer is here, right? So a lot is happening.
And we have to wake up tomorrow to go to work. Oh, no!
Hermione's going through a lot right now. So at any rate, it's settled, right? Harry says, don't kill him. My dad wouldn't want you guys to kill him. He wouldn't want you to become killers. And so they said, okay, Peter would be turned over to the mentors. They bandaged Ron's leg.
It's so true for Harry, though. He never tries to kill anybody. Never.
No.
Never. Not even the person you think he would most obviously kill the second he gets a chance to.
Yeah. It's true.
It's crazy.
So Lupin bandages up Ron's leg. They tie Peter up after threatening him not to transform or he would be killed. Then Lupin and Ron shackle themselves to Peter to make sure he doesn't try anything. They use the spell.
Ron took it personal. He took this personal.
Ron volunteered. Yeah, Ron volunteered.
Yeah.
Because they were like, we need 2 people to do this. Ron's like, put me in, coach.
Yeah.
I will mess him up if he tries to do anything. And you could also, like, I joke with, Ron could have easily been like, if he turns into a rat, I know how to catch him. I've done it many times.
Right.
Yeah. I've done it many times. So Snape is still unconscious. They decide not to bring him back or, not to resuscitate him until they're back at the castle. If they did it at this point, there might be some drama. So they use the spell Mobile Corpus to levitate Snape so that they could all head back out of the Shrieking Shack, through the tunnel, out of the base of the
You left out the best part, man. They could not care less about the safety of Snape using his charm to get him out.
Yeah, they're not gentle with Snape, and I think they talk about that in the next chapter because they're going through the tunnel, and
maybe,
and so Snape's head is like banging on rocks and stuff. So
good.
Crookshanks, he leaps quietly and lightly off the bed, leads the way out of the room, his bottle brush tail held jauntily high.
I mean, I think we've really said everything throughout these last couple chapters, but just an incredible way. This is leading up to be an incredible way to end a book. Not just oh, here's a big scene, or here's this thing. No. It's like we're leading up to the end of the book, and the writing is just fantastic. You believe everything that's being said. I mean, this is the first time we're introduced to Sirius, so you still have mixed feelings for him at this point, I would think. But the way she's writing it, like, oh no, it's serious. Oh, wait a minute. Oh,
wait a second. Yeah.
It's like how they tell you, like, certain movies, they play music to tell you how to feel, and she's doing that just writing. It's so good.
It's good. I love the backstory. I love the questions. Well, how did you get out of Azkaban? How did you know that?
Very ballsy of Hermione to like voice up in the situation, man.
And it can also, I think it also shows that Hermione is starting to believe Sirius as well. Because I think if you thought he was a crazed murderer, you're not saying anything. I don't want to instigate. I don't want him to just snap. But I think that's way of, Mr. Because she calls him Mr. Black, right?
Yeah, he's like, whoa.
Mr. Black. He's like, Mr. Black. How did So I think that shows.
It's exactly Hermione too. Like, oh, this is serious. Hey, how did you get out of there? By the way, just we're just gonna skip over that. I don't think so. Let's pedal back.
If it wasn't dark magic,
yeah.
Could you please walk us through that? Which one of the things that disappoints me about the book that I thought would have been fun is the fact that at this moment, Harry, Ron, and Hermione didn't decide to become an animagus. Like they didn't, like they've seen how beneficial and useful it is. So for them to not decide to be like, you know what, I want to learn how to do that.
Well, right now, too, you got to remember Snape is... I don't know how long this conversation went on after Snape got knocked out, but he's been knocked out for a while.
Yeah.
For a while.
But you'd think that would have been a cool side thing of them. Hermione would get it faster than Harry and Ron. Harry would get it slightly faster than Ron. And,
Harry would pick the... stag to be his animagus, I guarantee it.
Well, and here's the question, and the answer I just answered in my head. The answer is no. The answer is no. We assume there's no true evidence that Snape is an animagus as well. That he can turn into a bat. It never says that. It does say in book 7 when he and McGonagall start to duel, and he
such a great scene in the movies.
He flies out of the window. In the book, it does say bat-like.
Yeah.
So it's like, but the question is, if you are an animagus, is your Patronus the same thing as your animagus? Because James Potter's Patronus was a stag, and his animagus was a stag. We don't ever learn of Sirius's Patronus or Lupin's Patronus, or Pettigrew's Patronus.
Lupin's non-corporeal.
Yeah, we only see his non-corporeal Patronus. Yeah. We know that
we're not even sure if Peter can even cast one. I would doubt.
Right? Yeah. We don't know. We know that Snape, and we also know that Patronuses can change.
Yeah.
So Tonks had a Patronus, and then after Sirius died, her Patronus changed.
Yep.
And so So the question is if you are because Tonks is a polymorph magus.
Yeah.
And we see her, one of the parts in the book, she does a duck bill. So it's like, if you can make a duck bill, can you transform into any animal that you want to? It never really gets that deep.
Yeah.
So anyway,
we'll learn more about it when we get to it.
Yeah, it's a lot of cool. And again, this is a thing. And here's a cool thing about the book. We meet Scabbers on the train to Hogwarts in year 1.
Yeah.
Right? We meet Scabbers on the train to Hogwarts year 1. And here he is in book 3 being the wizard that betrayed Lily and James Potter.
Right?
It's just so, it's so cool.
Yeah.
It's from a story perspective, it's so, you never book 1, chapter 5, 6 or yeah. You're on the train. Never, when we met Scabbers, you'd be like, I'll bet. I bet that rat's evil.
I guarantee I went, a rat?
Yeah,
a rat?
That's okay. Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Oh, such a great chapter. Well, thank you everybody for listening to our episode or watching it or however you're listening to us. Like we said in the beginning, we are on Spotify, Apple Podcast. We're everywhere. If you want to get in contact with us, hit us up on Instagram, hit us up on YouTube, leave your comments. We love reading all of that. And, if you want to be a guest or anybody that might want to be a guest, who would that be? Somebody that wants to be a guest?
All of your Potter friends.
I thought so. Thought maybe, yeah. Join us next time where we cover chapter 20. We have 3 more chapters left. I think there's 22 chapters in this book.
Good chapters.
We'll be done with the 3rd book. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Chapter 20, The Dementor's Kiss. Andrew, go ahead and leave us with a quote.
Then you should have died. Died rather than betray your friends, as we would have done for you.
Squib's Corner is hosted by Jeremiah Lobaugh and co-hosted by Andrew Beecham, myself. We would love to hear from you, so drop us a rate and review. To inquire about being a guest, or if you have questions, comments, or just want to give us your Harry Potter story, email us at squibscorner@gmail.com. To watch Harry Potter merch unboxings, follow Jeremiah's YouTube, Accio Potter Guy. Lastly, you can leave us a voice memo and follow us on Instagram at Squib's Corner Podcast.